Wow, there's people everywhere. Look at that. Wow.
There's one piece of advice you'll hear everywhere when you visit Rome. Avoid the tourist traps. And honestly, it makes sense because look at this. Millions of people come here every year, stand in the same queues, eat at the same restaurants, see the same things, all of it photographed a million times, sold to you on a million feeds. So naturally, everyone tells you to do something different. Go somewhere less crowded, avoid the famous stuff, don't be a tourist. So I came to Rome and did the exact opposite. The Colosseum, Trevi Fountain, the Vatican, the Spanish Steps, all the famous food, all the queues, all the touristy stuff. And I wanted to find out if these places are actually tourist traps or if they're crowded for a completely different reason. Every single one ranked worst to best. So by the end, you'll know exactly which ones are actually worth your time and which one's the best thing in Rome.
Good morning from the Vatican. The reason why I've woken up at 6:30 in the morning is because I want to get to St. Peter's Basilica, one of the most beautiful churches or cathedrals in the world, and it's actually free. However, there's a catch. You have to line up. Then the best chance to not line up for ages is to go early. And I think everyone's got the same idea because it's already 6:40. So just everyone's getting through security. St. Peter's Square is right across the other side. So just got through security. It took about 25 minutes, but finally I'm here. This is St. Peter's Square. Just look at this. This is such a beautiful square. Look at St. Peter's Basilica. This is the largest cathedral in the world. So as you can hear, there is Mass currently happening. It's 7 a.m. and that's when there's usually Mass every day. And everyone's just there. It's just such a holy and revered place. There's just so much peace about it. It is so stunning. Can you believe that it took 120 years to build this, and the likes of Michelangelo designed this? And inside it fits 60,000 people. It is massive. No wonder it is the largest cathedral in the world. And this is the list of every single pope. Wow. Tell you what, I'm so glad I went first thing in the morning because look at this now, it's at 8:30. There's already loads of people walking through, massive tour groups. It's going to be a lot more hectic, so good move. And the fact that it's free to get into St. Peter's Basilica is another bonus. So St. Peter's goes straight onto the board. Let's see how it stacks up against all the other places that I will visit. But if the free Basilica has already set a benchmark, the next place is the one I actually paid for, and I wasn't really keen to go. Then I hit the Sistine Chapel and the Gallery of Maps, and I couldn't look away. Those two rooms alone are absolutely worth it. The rest, if you're not a museum person, you won't care about it that much, but those two are worth every cent. So it goes on the board just under St. Peter's, just because I'm not really a museum guy. After two heavy grand places back to back, I needed a break. And the most argued about food in Rome costs less than a fridge magnet. So all this walking around town has made me absolutely starving. So there is a famous spot right near the Pantheon, which is famous for its sandwiches or focaccia sandwiches. It actually originates from Florence, but there is a bit of virality over it, and you can see there's long lines for it. It's called Al Antico Vinaio. I think I've just butchered the name, but you get the point. It is long queues, and it's so successful they've actually opened up a second shop, which is right next door, does exactly the same thing. I don't know why everyone lines up at that one. It's probably because it's the original. Let's see if it's worth it, and I reckon it's going to be really cheap. Thank you. Right, it didn't take very long for me to get through this queue. In fact, it was only like 5 minutes, even though it looks really long. But I've got the numero uno based on a friend's recommendation, and it's got roast pork with cream of onion and roast potato cream. I think that's what it is, but it's for 10 euros, so let's give this a taste. That cream of onion is absolutely sensational, and I love how generous they are with the pork, and I love the crispy focaccia bread. This is actually worth the hype. Back to the famous stuff, and the next one splits people harder than any spot in the city.
Right, I am walking along more narrow streets, more pathways, and I can tell it's already getting really crowded. So I have a feeling I'm coming up to a really big tourist attraction. Oh my goodness. That's the Trevi Fountain. Found the key to Trevi Fountain. And it's not as long as I thought. It's not that bad, and I hope that it moves fast. So apparently the trick is to come here first thing in the morning at sunrise before they set up this queuing system. But the thing is, it's gone around social media and everyone already knows about it. So there's no point, it's gonna be just as packed. So I'm just gonna come here and really embrace this whole atmosphere and vibe. Right, I'm finally at the front of the Trevi Fountain. And you know, this is the largest fountain in Rome, built in the 1700s. And apparently there are 3,000 euros worth of coins tossed in there, because every time you toss a coin behind you to the fountain, you'll be back in Rome. And the thing is, I did not chuck a coin at the back of Trevi Fountain 20 years ago. And it took me 20 years to get back here. And this time I'm gonna throw the coin behind me. And so therefore, I'll be back. Here it goes. I will be back.
The fountain itself looks incredible, but getting down to the water to actually toss the coin, you do it once and you never need to do it again. See it from the square and you basically got the whole experience. And here's what's changed since I filmed. It used to be free to reach the water. Now it's 2 euros, which is nothing. Worth seeing? Absolutely. Worth doing twice? Maybe not. That puts Trevi in the upper middle. The look earns the height, but see it once and move on is what keeps it below the two at the top. From the most famous fountain to the oldest building still standing, 2,000 years old, I wanted to see if it holds up, or if it's just coasting on its age.
Just having a bit of a wander, and then suddenly I'm in the Pantheon. That is such a beautiful building.
I found the dome inside genuinely worth seeing, for about 5 minutes. You walk in, you look up, you're impressed, and then you're done. Great once and for something quick, but not worth it if the queue is very long. So it lands mid-table, impressive, but 5 minutes and you're done keeps it out of the top half. Right, that was a lot of history in one go. Time for something sweet before the next one.
I'm gonna tell you what, after lunch, I'm absolutely smashed. I feel wrecked already from so much running around, but we did a lot in the day. But what I really need is a gelato. So this gelato costs €3.50. I got the mango sorbet, and I have to say, it is much needed. And on a hot day like today, it is so refreshing. And it is so cool just to wander around these streets and just admire the beauty of the architecture and the history over a gelato.
Next up, the one with the ceiling that's become mega viral in recent years. The fake dome, the mirror on the floor. Half of Rome tells you it's unmissable, so I went to find out.
Wow, the line is insane. That is such a long line. Just to get a shot of that view from the mirror that looks at the top there.
I just did not find it worth lining up for when you can just tilt your head back up for the same view. The ceiling is beautiful, and that's the whole thing. The first one that didn't really live up to the hype. So this one drops. The ceiling saves it from the very bottom, but it was nice to look at for about 30 seconds. From here, it's the home stretch, a run of Rome's biggest names back to back, starting with the square. Everyone tells you it's a tourist trap.
You know, one of the coolest things about Rome is that you can just wander around any streets and suddenly you're in a massive piazza or a square. I'm currently in Piazza Navona, which is one of the largest squares in Rome. And it actually is shaped more like an oval, but that's because it's built on top of an ancient Roman stadium. How cool is that? And then today, it's full of restaurants where people can just go people watching and dine here, fountains, and also a lot of street performers.
Piazza Navona, they call it a tourist trap. It's a public square with a couple of fountains in it. It's fine, nice to walk through, but that's it, just a square. Nothing you'd plan your day around, and the restaurants around it are 100% tourist catered restaurants. So it goes near the bottom, just a square with some pretty fountains, and that's it.
So I'm at a place called Forno Campo de Fiori, and they actually sell pizza slices, and they actually weigh the amount that you want to eat. I went here for the tomato pizza slice as recommended by a foodie friend of mine, and this looks absolutely amazing, and it's only €2.85. So let's dig into this. It looks so good.
Absolutely amazing. This is the perfect morning breakfast as you walk around, and look, there's actually a market up there as well. So I'm gonna have a wander and finish off this pizza. Now you can't go to Rome, or Italy for that matter, without trying tiramisu. And this place apparently has gone really viral and I've heard good things about it. There's of course a queue, but I heard it moves pretty fast. So let's join it and see if it's worth the hype. There we have it, the classic tiramisu, and I bought the small because I don't really want a big dessert, and plus this particular one is really cute and it's only €3, so how could you go wrong with that? Wow, lots of cream in there. It is just so nice. It's not overly sweet. I love the creaminess to it.
Now, the most photographed staircase on earth. Surely it's worth the step count, right?
So I'm just walking along here and I can see the crowds building up, and that means we're running close to a tourist site, and there it is, the Spanish Steps. But yeah, it looks stunning. It's also really busy, so I'm just gonna get there and try to get my shot.
The most photographed staircase on earth, and it's basically just a set of steps in a crowded square, worth a glance as you pass, but skip it entirely and you'd miss nothing. I would place this at the bottom, dead last, the single most overrated spot of everything I did. That's almost everything ranked, just dinner at a viral spot, and then the one I'd been saving the best till last.
So I'm at a place called Trastevere, which is a dining district in Rome, and it looks amazing. I love the vibe here. It's pretty chill. Everyone's having their dinners around 8 o'clock right now. But this is a place that, I don't know how long the queue is really famous for their carbonara. And I can see it right here. Oh my goodness. My gosh. That is so long. Oh wow. This is peak dinner time right now. Look at that. After an hour and a half in the line, I finally got this, and apparently this is the best carbonara in Rome. So let's see if it lives up to the hype and the wait in line. Look at that. My goodness. Wow. Wow. Okay. It lives up to the hype. That was amazing, and it was only €16.50. It's actually not that expensive, but it's so good, and I'm so stuffed. It is really filling.
Now, finally for the big one, the one I'd purposely saved for last, the Colosseum, the single most famous thing in Rome, which by everyone's logic makes it one of the most likely to be a total letdown. The most photographed ruin on the planet. If anything was going to be overrated, surely it was this.
I'm here 15 minutes before it opens, and wow, so many people lining up already. The line just keeps going on and on.
No photo, no video prepared me for the Colosseum in real life. The Forum and Palatine right next door, whole ancient ruins you just walk through. The one everyone calls the ultimate tourist trap is hands down the best thing in the city. Which means the #1 slot I'd been hiding this whole time, it was always this. The Colosseum, the most touristy, the most crowded, the most overrated site of them all, sitting at #1. And those crowds I kept fighting all trip, it turns out they were telling me something the whole time. At the very bottom, the Spanish Steps, just a set of steps, and at #1, the single best thing in Rome, the Colosseum. Everyone says that these places are overrated tourist traps you should skip. I did every one of them, and I'd do them all again. Turns out, they're not tourist traps, they're just popular, and they're popular for a reason.